This is the Banks Insider News for the week of February 27, 2020. I'm Jay, and here's the scoop. In the latest episode of our Killing a Duramax video series, Banks engine builder Mike Keegan installs 50% over S&S Diesel Motorsport Denso injectors, and Gale pushes the L5P in dyno cell number 2 to 852 horsepower. Watch as Gale and Aaron focus so much on the cylinder pressure and other data displayed on the iDashes that they didn't even realize they broke 850 horses. After the 852 poll, Gale revealed some pretty fascinating data. Next up is our R&D update. Due to the popularity of the side-by-side market and the amount of requests coming in for Banks products to be adapted to these off-road toys, we had no choice but to start development on upcoming parts. First on the list, the iDash 1.8 Super Gauge and DataMonster. If you own one of these four-wheeled fun machines, you know there's barely any data on the dashboard. What if you could see your belt temp? How about boost, coolant, oil temp? What about manifold air density? What about turbo shaft speed? Don't even get us started. It's all coming to the iDash soon. In Gale's latest unboxing video, he opens up a care package from TurboSmart, one of the foremost leaders in boost control devices and accessories for forced induction vehicles. Banks reached out to them for solutions to regulate big boosts safely and reliably in the 7-liter diesel supercharged twin-turbo monster truck engine destined for the Diesel Brothers Brodozer. Watch as Gale explains just how he's going to use these wastegates and blow-off valves. For our dealer spotlight, we look at outlaw diesel performance in Greenfield, Indiana. What started out as a hobby buying and selling parts for friends and working on 7.3-liter Power Strokes quickly became a full-time business that doubled in size within just a couple of years. Outlaw focuses on doing the job right the first time and doesn't skimp on simple things like using quality components. Really, what customer could ask for more? If you're in the area, give them a call and they'll treat your rig as if it were their very own. In the fan focus this week, we take a look at Desmond DeLeo's 2013 EcoBoost powered Ford F-150. Desmond is pretty much a Banks fan since he has just about everything the company produced for his truck. The Banks Ram Air, 2 iDash 1.8 DataMonsters, an air mouse module for ambient conditions, and the Derringer tuner. I don't have your exhaust though, he said. Unfortunately, I have a Roush exhaust. No! This week in the time machine, we travel back to 2013 for another example of Banks Super Turbo madness, the Pikes Peak Freightliner. Stunt driver and avid Freightliner racer Mike Ryan geared up to conquer Pikes Peak once again, and due to the mountains, continuous altitude climb, decreasing the air density, and robbing the race prep Detroit Diesel Series 60 engine's power-making ability, Mike and the Freightliner needed help, and desperately. Enter Banks Power. Banks created a super turbo system for the 14-liter Detroit diesel engine that consisted of a one-of-a-kind Banks Ram Air tri-filter air intake system, an 8.3-liter Whipple twin-screw supercharger, and an S510 Borg-Warner turbocharger, TL wastegates and blow-off valves in Banks designed and developed drive system bracketry and manifolding. And it was all controlled with a Banks AutoMind ECM. What he got was 2,400 horsepower and 5,000 pound-feet of torque, and a lot of noise. And lastly, we're proud to announce the availability of the Ram Air intake system for the Jeep JL and Gladiator. The Ram Air cold air intake adds a tested best-in-class airflow of 782 CFM, a gain of 82% over stock, and 21.6% over its closest competitor. The system produces lower temperature air at higher pressure, providing higher air density right at the throttle inlet. As a result, the Banks Ram Air system boasts a 38% air density improvement compared to the stock intake, and 2 times the increase of its closest competitor. And of course, it's available at all of our authorized Banks retailers and bankspower.com. And if you're digging the fresh lid right here, support your local diesel shop, which we do. Just head to bankspower.com and click on the apparel tab. In the meantime, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and push that little like button. See you next week.